forget about that Senate race as well. Will you give a great JMU, Harrisonburg, Shenandoah Valley welcome to our next President of the United States? Shenandoah Valley. I'm so grateful to be with all the people of Harrisonburg and the valley as a whole, and here at JMU. I want to thank JMU President Dr. Linwood Rose for his I want to say thank you to one of the finest governors that we have in the country, but also one of the best men that I know in public life. Please give Tim Kaine a big round of applause. I want to say thank you for Mark Warner's extraordinary service to this Commonwealth, but also to his service soon to be as United States Senator. Give it up for Mark Warner. It's been a while since a presidential candidate came by Harrisonburg. I just discovered the last presidential candidate to be here was Stephen Douglas. That's the guy who ran against Abraham Lincoln, in case you haven't been following your history. So it's been quite a while. And I am glad to be here. It is a testimony to the country has traveled. That the last time a Democrat was here was Stephen Douglas, and now the next presidential candidate is Barack Obama. That's a testimony to Virginia and a testimony to this country. 1 week. After decades of broken politics in Washington, after 8 years of failed policies from George W. Bush, after you don't have to boo, just vote. After 21 months of a campaign that's taken us from the rocky coast of Maine to the sunshine of California, we are 1 week away from bringing change to America. In 1 week, you can turn the page on policies that put the greed and irresponsibility of Wall Street ahead of the hard work and sacrifice of Main Street. In 1 week, you can choose policies that invest in our middle class and create new jobs and grow the economy from the bottom up so that everyone has a chance to succeed. From the CEO to the secretary, from the factory owner to the men and women on the factory floor. In 1 week, you can put an end to the politics that would divide a nation just to win an election. It tries to pit region against region and city against town and Republican against Democrat. It asks us to fear at a time when we need to hope. In 1 week, at this defining moment in history, all of you can bring this country the change we need. You know, we began this journey in the depths of winter nearly 2 years ago on the steps of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois. And back then we didn't have much money, we didn't have many endorsements, we weren't given much of a chance by the polls and the pundits. We knew how steep the climb was going to be. But I also knew this. I knew that the size of our challenges had outgrown the smallness of our politics. I believed that Democrats and Republicans and Americans of every political stripe, that they were hungry for new ideas, a new leadership, and a new kind of politics. One that favors common sense over ideology. One that focuses on those values and ideals that we hold in common as Americans. And most of all, I believe in you. I believe in your ability to make things happen. I knew that the American people were a decent, generous people who were willing to work hard and sacrifice for future generations. And I was convinced that when we come together, our voices are more powerful than the most entrenched lobbies, or the most vicious political attacks, or the full force of the status quo in Washington that wants to keep things just the way they are. And 21 months later, my faith in the American people has been vindicated. That's how we've come so far, how we've come so close because of you. That's how we're going to change this country, with your help. And that's why we can't afford to slow down or sit back or let up 1 day, 1 minute, 1 second in this last week. Not now, not when there's so much at stake, not when the issues we face are so important to this country. We're in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. 760,000 workers have lost their jobs since the beginning of this year. Families and businesses can't get credit. Home values are plummeting. Pensions are disappearing.